As a parent to neurodivergent and autistic children, I have often found myself in the midst of conversations that are filled with toxic positivity about the future of our kids. Phrases like "your child can do anything" are thrown around casually, without any regard for the reality that we parents face each day. I understand the sentiment behind these statements. I know that it's not easy to think about the future when you are struggling to get through a regular day. And I also understand why hearing over and over again that your child can do things that there is no evidence of can be annoying. After all, you just want your child to be accepted as they are, with no unrealistic expectations. But it's easy to settle into a mindset where you imagine your child living with you forever, never pursuing post-secondary education, never experiencing romantic relationships or building their own families, and always needing support from you. However, the future that you have settled in your mind may not be the one your child wants. And it's important to remember that it's not up to us to decide. The importance of communication. Communication is the key to supporting your child's dreams and goals. The challenge is to find out what they are, which can only be done with full communication. Believe it or not, even with a disability, all humans have aspirations and dreams for their lives. Just because your child may not be able to articulate their dreams, it doesn't mean that they don't exist. Past lack of progress equals future lack of progress. It is important to remember that just because someone has experienced a lack of progress in the past, it does not mean that they are doomed to experience the same in the future. While it can be discouraging to have struggled with something before, it is important to focus on the present and future, and to not let past experiences hold us back. There are many factors that can impact progress, and it is important to identify and address them in order to move forward. This may involve seeking help from others, developing new skills or strategies, or simply persevering through challenges. It is also important to remember that progress is not always linear. There may be setbacks or plateaus along the way, but these do not necessarily indicate a lack of progress overall. By staying focused and committed to our goals, we can continue to make progress and achieve success, regardless of any past experiences. As someone who is autistic and disabled, I have often found myself doubting my abilities or echoing the low expectations that society has of me. I, and other autistic activists, are not trying to preach toxic positivity at all. We are different from random strangers who spew toxic positivity about the future of disabled people. We are speaking from what we know and have seen. We also know that 99% of your loved ones, like us, are not receiving the services nor support you need. I have heard families tell me that they don't believe their loved one is capable of certain things, because they had the best doctors in the country and still they had no progress. Well, best in what? When I hear the improper treatments, horrible and dated assumptions or lack of knowledge that same best doctor ever exudes, I know exactly why a person wasn't helped. Our experiences, perspective, insight, and most importantly, our ability to bridge the gap between what your loved one wants to achieve and their challenges don't make autistic adults an enemy, but a vital resource to everything from coping with sensory struggles to getting the best services and education accommodations. After all, we have been around the block and understand those challenges from the inside. Accepting without settling. Why is it important to accept without settling? Why is it crucial to adjust and not lower our expectations? Because, as humans, we learn our limits from the adults in our society. We learn how high we can soar. However, when we are born into a world where everyone, including those who love and know us best, only see our limits, it makes life all the more difficult. This is the first barrier disabled individuals face, the low expectations of not just an unforgiving society, but even our families, our very roots, can be detrimental. As Will Smith's character tells his son in The Pursuit of Happiness, "Hey, don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. Alright?" As parents, we need to take this to have the belief so we can share it with our loved ones. We need to believe in our children's capabilities and support their dreams, regardless of their assumed abilities or lack thereof. Instead of deciding what they can't do, let's focus on enabling them to achieve what they dream of doing. After all, they, like us, are capable of more than we can imagine.